It's the final weekend for the inaugural season of the Ligier JS F4 Championship from the Circuit of the Americas, part of the COTA SpeedTour. We have 19 drivers on the grid, and 8 of them are making their first start with us this final weekend. Unfortunately, Beckman Jasir had a problem in practice and will not be able to make the start of this race. But located outside of row 9 is car 1, Ethan Sterling from Massillon, Ohio for Jensen. Next to him, one of our debutantes, the 2 of Ethan Brobston from College Grove, Texas, also driving for Jensen. In row 8, car 7, Zach Foury from Rabat, Morocco, also driving for Jensen. Next to him, the 5 of Dimitri Nolan from Fairview, Texas for Crosslink Kiwi Motorsport. In row 7, one of our debutantes, the 12 of Caleb Campbell from Cambridge, Ontario, Canada for LC Racing. Next to him is the 34 of Parker Wallen from Medina, Minnesota. He's moved over to the Momentum Motorsports team for this race. In row 6, car 23, Harbir Das from Solon, Ohio for Berg DMG Racing. Next to him, a debutant, the 17 of Takumi Numata from Yokohama, Japan, racing for Crosslink Kiwi Motorsport. In row 5 on the outside, another debutant, the 10 of Connor Grant from Kilmore, Ireland for Champagne Racing. Next to him is the 83 of Christopher Parrish from Terrell, Texas for the IGY6 Motorsports team. Next to him is the number 6 of Maite Cáceres from Punta del Este, Uruguay for International Motorsports. Alongside Maite is the 28 of Drew Such from St. Charles, Illinois for Such Racing. In row 3 on the outside, the 95 of Brad Majman from Melbourne, Australia for Crosslink Kiwi. Next to him, the 45 of Bacon Zelenka from Lyons, Illinois for Bacon Racing. Outside of row 2 is the points leader, the 29 of Kekai Hauanio from Plant City, Florida for Crosslink Kiwi. Next to him is another debutant, the 26 of Leonardo Scorpioni from Windermere, Florida for Champagne Racing. On the front row, the highest placed debutant in the field, the number 27 of Sascha van Pod Bosch from Nijkerk in the Netherlands for Scuderia Buell. And his teammate starts on the pole. Second in the points is number 25, Teddy Musella from Orlando, Florida. That's your starting grid. You can see the drivers from the F4 US Championship taking the green flag in the distance, but we'll concentrate on these drivers for the Ligier JS F4 Championship as they approach the line. This is a split start, nicely formed up as they approach the starting line. Here at this beautiful facility, it's late in the day. You can see the sun is low in the sky. And there's the green as the cars begin to fan out. And our pole sitter, Teddy Musella, gets a good jump. Right behind him is Leonardo Scorpioni in that number 26. Sweeping around the outside is the 29 of Kekai Hauanio. And there's a spin from Sascha van Pod Bosch, who started alongside our pole sitter on the front row. He'll have some ground to make up as a Scorpioni and Hauanio go wheel to wheel and now slot into single file as they come into the S's for the first time. So it's Musella, the Scorpioni, then Hauanio. Right behind him, the 95 of Brad Majman, coming off a sweep of the weekend at our last race meeting at New Jersey Motorsports Park. We ride with Christopher Parrish, with Connor Grant, the Irish debutant, just in front. Drew Such in the orange car, just in front of him, and then Bacon Zelenka in that bright green machine as they plunge over the hill there at turn 10. This downhill run and then back uphill into turn 11, the hairpin, and arguably the most important turn on this racetrack as it feeds onto this long back straightaway. As Parrish tries to make a move on Grant, not successful, as they make their way down the straightaway. Look how low the sun is in the sky. Visibility for these drivers at a couple spots around the racetrack is definitely going to be an issue. Side by side goes Maite Cáceres and Bacon Zelenka a little deeper in the pack, and also side by side are Scorpioni and Kekai Hauanio. That's the battle for second. Everybody gets single file through the field. One of the cars goes a little bit wide at the exit of turn 12, but gathers it back up as they work their way through the stadium section, down into turns 14 and 15. Diving down the inside is Kekai Hauanio. Tries to make that pass and gets it done as we switch to Leonardo Scorpioni as he falls back to third here about halfway around the first lap. Now into this long right-hander quadruple apex at 16, 17, and 18, and then into turn number 19 as we ride with our leader, Teddy Musella. Right out to the edge of the track, into the final turn on the racetrack, and back onto the front straightaway. Musella then Hauanio, then behind him is a Scorpione. Right behind a Scorpione is Brad Majman. Then a little gap back to the green car of Bacon Zelenka as they climb the hill into turn 1. As Musella getting a good jump here, doing what he needs to do to try to keep Kekai Hauanio behind him, as those two separated by only 4.5 points coming into this final weekend of racing. We ride with Drew Such as he's chasing down Maite Caceres, the Uruguayan, up in front as they work their way into the S's. What a fantastic section of racetrack this is. Back on board with the Scorpione as he gives chase to Kekai Hauanio. The Scorpione, an impressive debut for Champagne Racing, one of 2 new teams here this weekend, LC Racing being the other. As this battle for the top 3 crests the hill there at turn 10, heading down toward turn 11 once again. We fall back 1 spot to Brad Majman as we ride along, as he gives chase to a Scorpione just in front of him. Majman, nice line coming off of that turn, and begins the run down the straightaway, an undulating back straightaway with a little uphill rise here, and then back downhill as it heads toward turn number 12, the best passing opportunity on this 3.4-mile racetrack. You can see Maite Caceres and Drew Such going side by side in the background. In the foreground, here comes a Scorpione trying to make the move on Hauanio. Hauanio has to stay in that 3rd spot as the Scorpione gets the job done. Hauanio trying to get it back. But a great job there by the youngster making his first start in our series here this weekend. Hauanio trying to minimize the damage here, staying as close to Teddy Musella as he can and maintain his opportunity for the season-ending points championship. Right on the gearbox of the Scorpione as they come through turn 18. This little short shoot down into turn 19. Really easy to go wide on exit here, but the stewards keeping a close eye on track limits, and penalties will be assessed if these drivers exceed the track limits and improve their position in doing so. Nice job onto the front straight. Let's look at that 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th place battle with the Scorpione, Hauanio, Majman, and Bacon Zelenka bringing up the rear of that group. Meanwhile, Teddy Zelenka in the red Scuderia Buell machine continues to stretch his advantage. Now, this battle between Drew Such in the orange car and Maite Caceres in the white and pink continues to be a dandy. Maite gets a better run off of turn 1 and goes side by side into the S's. 2 into 1 usually don't go here. Let's see if Maite's got enough of an inside run. Drew Such hanging right in there, and he's going to slot into that top spot. Maite gives him racing room, so good job on her part as they work their way through this very tricky sequence of turns that get tighter and tighter as the S's wears on. Then steeply uphill now as we ride with Bacon Zelenka. That's Brad Majman right in front of him. Zelenka currently 3rd in the points coming into this weekend, so he'd like nothing more than to get up and do battle with that top 3 and see if he can improve his points position here. Majman goes just a little wide on the exit, and Bacon Zelenka right on his gearbox, dead into the sunlight as they head their way down the straightaway. Zelenka pulls alongside as they head down toward turn number 12. He's got the inside line if he wants to try to make a pass. Meanwhile, side by side are Scorpione and Hauanio once again. Bacon Zelenka able to make the pass on Majman at the moment, at least. They're still there. It's not done yet. Zelenka on the inside as they head into turn 13. Now he's got a nose ahead, so Majman falls back in single file. Watch, he might try to go around the outside here as Zelenka blocks that inside line. An over-under move, perhaps? And then we go back to the 2nd place battle. We ride with Kekai Hauanio. That's a Scorpione on his inside as they make it into turn 18, and the Scorpione maintains that 2nd position. Meanwhile, out in front, Teddy Musella gradually drawing away from this battle. The more they race side by side, the more that gives him. Here comes Kekai down to the inside. We switch over to a Scorpione. You can see him checking his mirrors as Kekai is still alongside as they make the run up the hill. If Kekai could stay here, he might have an opportunity to complete that pass at the top of the hill at turn number 1. A steep, steep climb, 130-some feet of elevation change here into this one of the signature turns on this racetrack. Great side-by-side racing for these two. Kekai has to go a little bit wide. Scorpione gives him racing room and slots back in front as they come into the S's once again. Oh, there's a touch. Kekai in contact with Scorpione and spins him, but I don't think he lost more than one spot. He does a 360. There goes Drew Such by. There goes Maite Casares by. So Scorpione is going to drop back a couple spots. But what a great job of car control to keep that car under him. And he didn't lose any more spots. We go back to Brad Majman now, as he's been passed by Bacon Zelenka, and he's going to try to repay that favor, as that's the battle for third spot. Kekai Hauanio just in front of the green car of Bacon Zelenka, and we ride with Brad Majman, the Australian, as those three nose to tail in the long run down the back straightaway once again. Musella stretching his advantage now after just a handful of laps. Then Hauanio, then Zelenka, then Majman. There's Drew Such. Maite Casares going side by side with Scorpione as he tries to make up ground. Christopher Parrish ducks in behind Scorpione. And then there's Sasha Van Pod Bosch. Remember, he spun at the first turn. He's working his way back toward the front. Harbor Doss goes a little wide at the turn 12, and then that yellow car, the number 12 of Caleb Campbell. We ride along with Connor Grant, the Irishman, as he tries to stay in touch with those two, going side by side up in front. Caleb Campbell tries to go down to the inside of the 23 of Harbor Doss. Not able to close that deal. Now Connor Grant sees if he can get a little piece of that going around the outside of the 16, 17, 18 complex, but he decides to stay single file. As they head down through turn 19, you can see our leader Musella well out in front. And then the three-way battle between Hauanio, Bacon Zelenka, and Brad Majman. Then Drew Such. Then that little clutch of cars behind Drew, with Maite Casares trying to hold off the challenge from Scorpione as Scorpione dives to the inside. Christopher Parrish stays behind Maite, and there's Sasha Van Pod Bosch right at the tail end of this four-car train. We ride with Maite Casares as Scorpione completed that pass and has taken over that position. There's the battle for second, third, and fourth, and now entering the S's is Drew Such, then Scorpione, then Maite, then Christopher Parrish, and Van Pod Bosch goes side by side with Chris Parrish as they come through the S's. Behind them is Harbor Doss, right in front of Caleb Campbell. Then the Irishman, Connor Grant, Takuma Numata, Parker Wallen, and Dimitri Nolan just behind him. And then we ride along with Connor Grant in the Champagne Racing entry as he chases Campbell up the hill toward turn number 10. And then this big drop down toward turn 11. Lots of vertical on this 3.4 mile 20-turn racetrack. And this one especially, a little uphill, gives a little assist on the braking. All three of them clip the apex nicely. Out in front, Teddy Musella continues to stretch his advantage. The second, third, and fourth place battle has fallen off just a little bit, but now Drew Such is coming under attack from Scorpione. Again, Scorpione tapped into that spin by Hauanio, is now on his way back. Maite now has got the debutante of Sasha Van Pod Bosch in her mirrors, as Van Pod Bosch has gotten around Christopher Parrish. We ride with Drew Such as he's got Scorpione just in front of him. Nice apex there at turn 15 as they set up for the 16, 17, 18 complex. The throttle nearly flat to the floor all the way through this sweeping turn. Another lap goes in the history books as Teddy Musella continues to stretch his advantage. Over Kekai Hauanio. The green car is Bacon Zelenka. Behind him, Brad Majman. Then Scorpione. Then Drew Such. Then behind him now is Van Pod Bosch. Then Maite Casares, and she's got Christopher Parrish right on her gearbox. We'll keep an eye on this potential maneuver as Parrish dives to the inside. Maite holds her racing line. Parrish goes inside, but Maite might be able to pull the over-under as Parrish goes a little wide at the exit of one, but she can't quite close the deal, so she falls back one more spot behind the IGY6 driver. Right on his gearbox, though, as they enter the S's. Maite spending some time in the F1 Academy as well as her racing here with us in the Ligier JS F4 Championship. Has done a good job all season long. She comes into this weekend with 4 podiums to her credit, including a second in the very first race of the season. Now we move forward to Connor Grant with the 23 of Harbert Doss just in front of him. Doss for the Berg DMG Racing Stable. Grant with the brand new Champagne Racing team, making their first start with us. We look forward to Champagne and LC Racing staying with us for a full season in 2025. Connor Grant sends it into turn 11. Right out to the exit curbing, and he's got that pass done. So move Harbor Doss back 1 spot as we see double waving yellow flags up at the top of the hill. So someone must have spun up there at turn 11. But no harm, no foul as we continue now. Here's Brad Majman, and just in front of him, the green car of Bacon Zelenka as they continue to battle for 3rd position. Under the bridge and into turn 16. Boy, look at that sun, really affecting the visibility of these drivers as the camera looks over their left shoulder. And they'll hit it once again as they make the run to the final turn on the racetrack. Musella continues with his advantage. Then Hauanio. Then Bacon Zelenka. Then Brad Majman. There's Leonardo Scorpioni in recovery mode, and Sasha Van Pod Bosch has gotten around Drew Such. So Van Pod Bosch continues to impress as this 14-year-old Dutchman has really brought his A game here this weekend. Looks like Drew Such is going to have a go at him to try to retake that position as they dive into turn number 1. Van Pod Bosch, though, pinches his exit just a little bit. That gives him a good run down the hill into turn 2. But he's still there. You can see the shadow. And you can see Such checking his mirrors as Van Pod Bosch now has the inside line. Still side by side. Great racing between these two. And Van Pod Bosch finally takes the position. His rain light flashing on that car. Inadvertently, I'm sure, as he climbs toward turn number 8, and then 9, and then 10 at the top of the hill. That little kink that leads them down into turn 11. Van Pod Bosch into the hairpin. Drew Such heavy on the brakes right behind him. Such gets a little tail happy there at the end as he has to make a correction. That'll cost him just a little bit of momentum as Kekai Hauanio has broken away just a bit from the 3rd place battle as he's got his sights set on running down his championship contender. That's Teddy Musella. If the race finishes the way it's run right now, Musella will take over the points lead. As he goes a little bit wide there at turn 15, you can see him checking his mirrors. He's certainly aware that Hauanio is right behind him. Down into turn 19 comes our race leader. He took the lead at the start of the race and has not relinquished it, and has been stretching his advantage since the drop of the green flag. Hauanio. Then the Zelenka Majman battle continues as we ride with Brad Majman, the Australian. Bacon Zelenka, the Illinois native, to the top of the hill. Nice racing lines for both these drivers as they do a good job of staying in touch with one another, just hitting their marks and seeing what happens as the race wears on. Majman getting a great run through the S's, a little better than Zelenka. Look at him close up as they work their way through 6, 7. Heading for turn 8 now. Majman right on the gearbox of Bacon Zelenka. There's turn 9, and then this little kink is turn 10. Down the hill they go toward turn 11 once again. Great job for both drivers, maximizing their corner speed and getting a good run down this straightaway into the setting sun. This is the last race of the day on our first day of this 4-day weekend for the COTA SpeedTour. Majman not quite close enough to pop out at turn 12, so he'll stay single file. Zelenka goes a little wide. That opens the door for Majman to take over that position. He's side by side into 13. Majman off the brakes just a little bit later than Bacon and able to get through there. Can he maintain? Now Bacon has the opportunity to dive down to the inside, try the over-under maneuver. But Majman maintains the position. So new third-place runner as Brad Majman takes over that spot. Bacon, Zelenka back to fourth as they work their way through turn 18 once again. Look at that sun in the driver's eyes. Definitely got to be a bit of a distraction as they come on to turn 20 and onto the front straightaway once again. Bacon getting a good run down the front straightaway. Up the hill he comes as he pops to the inside. Majman hanging tough around the outside now. They both stay inside track limits, and Majman's going to maintain his advantage. And all the while, Scorpione is gradually catching up to that duel. Meanwhile, the top two running pretty much by themselves, Musella and Hauanio, with the Majman-Zelenka battle. And coming up quickly is Scorpione. And there is Sasha Van Pod Bosch. What a great recovery drive for that youngster. Maite Casares and Christopher Parrish continue their battle. Through the S's, we ride with Chris Parrish. That's Maite up in front. And Drew Such in the orange car just in front of her. Once again, down into turn number 11. Earlier apex for Christopher Parrish than the other two, seeing if he can get a little more momentum coming down the back straightaway. Our leaders are by. The battle for third is a good one, as it is now Majman in front of Zelenka, in front of Scorpione. Sasha Van Pod Bosch, one of the fastest cars on the racetrack, and before too much longer might make this a four-way battle for the final step on the podium in this first of 3 races this weekend. We ride with Leonardo Scorpione in the Champagne Racing number 26. And one more lap goes into the history books in this 30-minute timed race. Three-way battle for third, soon to be 4, as Sasha Van Pod Bosch draws ever closer. Majman, Zelenka, and Scorpione. Then Van Pod Bosch. Oh, Bacon Zelenka thinks about making a move on Brad Majman. Couldn't quite close the deal. As they work their way into the S's one more time. A couple laps ago when Majman was behind Zelenka, he was really getting good pace through this section of the racetrack, and that's the case here as well. Bacon not quite as fast through the S's as Majman as he opens up his advantage. A little wiggle from the back of Majman's car. We now go back to Scorpione in 5th position as they clip the apex there at turn 10. Scorpione closes up under braking. Gets a pretty good run off of turn 11. Zelenka opening up that advantage just a little bit, but Scorpione tucks in the draft. Just a quick look in his mirrors to see if that red car is getting any closer behind him of Van Pod Bosch. Riding with Kekai Hauanio as he bends it through turn 13. 14 and then 15. Back up the hill towards this long right-hander. And then it's a flat-out blast down to turn 19 here. Over the rumble strips, you can see the camera shake. It gives some indication of just how tough they are. As long as he keeps the inside wheels on that candy stripe, he's still inside of track limits. Oh, and a spin again for Sascha van Pod Bosch. Just as he was getting up on the back of those three in front of him, he loops it here at turn 20. So his second spin on the weekend, he's got to go through the gravel to get back on the racetrack, and that's going to cost him 3 more spots. As Maite Caceres, Christopher Parrish, and Drew Such will all get by. Christopher Parrish guarding that inside line as Such gets a good run on him up the hill here. Tries the over-under maneuver. Let's see, he can get alongside. Such with a nose ahead as they enter turn 2. But you can see Christopher Parrish is still there. We ride now with Parrish. Such will come up on his left as they work their way through the S's. He gives him racing room. Oh, Such goes a little wide. Able to make the pass, goes wide again as he exceeds track limits 2 times, it appears. Penalty might be assessed for that, as he was able to improve his position by going off the racing surface. The stewards, of course, will have a close eye on that, and a penalty could well be assessed at the end of the race. As Chris Parrish thinks about a move to the inside. Is he going to go late on the brakes? Nope. Back to single file, but he's going to be a much tighter apex as Such. Goes a little too late on the brakes, and that opens the door for Parrish. Bacon Zelenka trying to make the move on Brad Majman here, as he's right on under his rear wing, and a Scorpione right behind him as that 3-way battle for the final step on the podium continues. We ride with a Scorpione now as he comes down into turn 14 and then 15. Great job from all 3 of these drivers as the time continues to tick away. This is our 5th venue on the 2024 season. Started at New Orleans and then up to Road America, then Mid-Ohio, then New Jersey Motorsports Park. All 3 of them go a little wide there at the exit of turn 20. No one taking the advantage as we ride along with Leonardo Scorpione. Majman drifts over to the left, to the inside. Bacon pops to the outside now as they head into turn 1. But that side-by-side racing gives a Scorpione a good run once again. And he gets right on the tail of those 2 as they continue their battle. Into the section of the racetrack where Majman seems to be especially strong. He's able to open up a bit of an advantage, and now a Scorpione has designs on that 4th spot. As again, Zelenka's car not quite as handy through this section of racetrack, and the 2 cars on either side of him trying to take advantage of that. But Bacon's car strong everywhere else, especially in a straight line. It may be that he's elected to trim out the wings just a little bit to give him a little more straight line speed on the long straightaways, and sacrifices just a little bit of grip through the high speed turns that make up the S's. Here's your top 2 in shot. No challenge for Teddy Musella. Kekai Hauanio. Oh, just a little wiggle as he left his braking a little bit late. Majman, Zelenka, and a Scorpione continue their battle. Ride once again with Leonardo Scorpione. What a fantastic job for this youngster making his first start with us. Out of Windermere, Florida. See the iconic tower off to the right there as their way through turn 19. Getting ready to click off one more lap. Once again, what we saw a lap ago is Majman ducked to the inside. Bacon went with him. This time they stay on the racing line. Bacon going to see if he can get a little more momentum through this S's section. He's not been quite as quick as Brad Majman, but this time, at least in the early stages, he seems to be holding his own. Scorpione, a little tidier line, as you can see, closing up on the back of that car, as Bacon fighting the car just a little bit, as the traction not quite as planted as it could be, and that gives the Scorpione a pretty good run on him here as they clip the apex at turn 10 and head down toward turn 11 once again. Nice job for all three of these drivers as they head into the setting sun. You can see a waving flag in the background there, indicating a slow-moving car, perhaps. Yeah, we can see a car off the pace. And now, side by side, is Bacon Zelenka with Brad Majman. Majman on the inside, on your right, as he dives down into turn 12 and maintains the position. But Bacon letting him know that he's there as we're getting into the closing stages of this one. Scorpione maintains his position. He's going to go for a good exit here and see if he can get a little closer to those two in front of him. Majman a little closer to the apex. Zelenka just a little bit further out as the white flag flies for our leader. One lap to go. And Hauanio is getting ever closer to our leader, Teddy Musella. But this battle is the one for the final step on the podium. And let's see how it shakes out as they head on to the front straightaway for the final time at speed. Once again, Majman off to the inside. All three of them going to the inside to try to block that line. Here goes Zelenka late on the brakes as he dares. Perhaps the last passing opportunity on this lap. Oh, and there's contact as he touches Majman. You can see the front wing damaged on Zelenka's car. And he hits Majman again. Another touch on Majman. Majman wiggles and has to take evasive action there as Zelenka goes through into third. Majman's car appears to be damaged as he pulls off. So now Zelenka with a damaged front wing up into that third spot. And right behind him is a Scorpione. So Bacon making contact with the rear of Majman's car on two occasions there. And he's going to be a bit of a sitting duck for a Scorpione with that damaged front wing here, as the Scorpione goes late on the brakes and moves up into that third position. So a Scorpione taking advantage of problems for Bacon Zelenka. Kekai Hauanio looks like he's going to have to be satisfied with second spot, as a Scorpione a little defensive in the background, as Bacon Zelenka going to try to retake that third spot as Hauanio comes through turn 13 and works his way around on the final lap. Musella disappeared up in front, so Hauanio dropping back just a little bit. A little hesitation in the engine right there. That would be almost flat throttle as Teddy Musella takes the checkered flag for the 5th time this season and takes over the points lead as it runs right now. Something is wrong with Hauanio's car. It's slowing, coasting almost. As he comes to turn 20, you can see him checking his mirrors to see the battle behind. Oh man, there goes a Scorpione. The car bobbles to a stop as Bacon Zelenka goes by in third. Hauanio is going to die just short of the finish line as the rest of the field comes by. What a heartbreak for Kekai Hauanio, who came into this weekend with a points lead of 4.5 points, and now he's going to score no points. That flashing red light at the back indicates to the other cars that that car is without power. The engine is not running.
Musella, you just took off today. How was it?
Great experience after a very hard race in New Jersey and prior hard rounds. Never had the pace to come here and dominate like this is such a relief. And for the championship, it's great points. First, I think I'm in the lead of the championship now, so now we just have to defend it for the last 2 rounds of the weekend.
So your approach now is winning a championship. Are you out there to win races, or are you out there to win a championship?
Since now I'm in control of the championship, I don't have to chase it. It's more, I'm able to lenient with not winning every race. It's not really the purpose of it anymore. It's more going for the championship. So if someone's being super aggressive and it's not Kekai, it's not like I have to risk my race for it. So it's more just worrying about where Kekai is in terms of championship.
So that's what's important to you right now is the championship?
Yes, because at this point, so far in the season, and we're in the championship fight, so that has to be the #1 goal.
Nice job. Congratulations.